Alright, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Kawak. I just got off work. And I'm gonna do like a testimonial thing. First, we're gonna give all praise and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders. Salakia. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Alright. So, first thing I want to say is there's a law called HIPAA. And if you, give out information about a patient, they'll get your ass. But it's this, so I'm gonna just clear this stuff up. So I'm a caregiver, right? And I take care of people. It doesn't matter how old they are. Most of them are old, and they just have gotten out of the hospital for some reason or other. And they, some of them are gonna die. Some of them are gonna fucking die. But the thing is, so my question for you is, are demons real? I got a name brand I don't want to put up on my shit. So are demons real? Now, a lot of wartime guys, we'll call them veterans, they'll be in need of it being taken care of because of their condition, right? So some of these guys, they might have seen combat, and some of these guys and girls might have offed their ops, deleted their ops. Whatever they did, whatever you do in life, you're gonna have times in spaces, and when spaces in between what you're doing, when you're relaxing, where a flashback will come to you, right? We all have it. We sit there, and if we have free time, we think and we relax, try to get our nervous system to regulate itself. And when you're the calmest and most peaceful, that's when Satan sends his minions. However, if you're a bad person, you're a fucking bad person, man. If you're an Edomite, you're fucking done. There ain't nothing for you. Now, I'll say this. This is the lesson, right? So this individual is most likely an Edomite. Could be wrong. Could be more to it than what I'm putting into it, but he didn't do a bunch of good stuff, right? And man, a couple of things the Lord said is, one of them is, how can a rich man enter the kingdom? So yes, this individual had some sort of income, had businesses, and you could tell that these people had money, right? They had stone cold money. What I mean by stone cold money is, I got red hot money. What that means is, as soon as you make it, it's so fucking hot in your hands, it's gone. You can't hold on to it, like a hot potato. The heat being the bills and all that shit, and life and all that. But fam, check this out, fam. This individual was not a good individual. He had put some people in the dirt. Now, when you go invade or you go into another person's home, you're pretty much the aggressor. The United States has a history of attacking other countries, therefore they are aggressors. Now, here's the deal. We all gotta pay. We all gotta pay for what we've done. I'm a firm believer in that. Now, for the instance of heaven and hell, for those purposes, we're going to say that we know what heaven is, right? Heaven is when you're living righteous and you're doing good on earth. Hell is when you're not living so good and you're getting fucked up, right? Or something to that effect. So, I don't work with this individual anymore because the spirit had that lady basically fire me. And what it was is her patient, her husband. This dude is like fucking. He doesn't recognize anybody. He's terminally ill, but his spouse wants him desperately to recover. He ain't gonna recover from those kinds of things, the kinds of things that he had. For example, he doesn't have these things, but I'm gonna give you a rundown. Glaucoma is too much sugar in your eyes, or sugar in your eyes. Diabetes is too much sugar in your bloodstream. Alzheimer's is too much sugar in your brain, right? So if you have a grandpa or grandparent, or your mom or dad is older, or you're taking care of your uncle or your aunt, no sugar, okay? Because sugar, you can eat sugar. It's not recommended that you eat a whole lot, but if you're not digesting it, it can become a problem. Okay, so that's the health part. Now, it's going to get a little scary. So, part of my job is to just hang out with them. But apparently, that's not why I was there. And that lady got upset. And, what happens is if your spouse goes through PTSD, and they have a serious mental illness where they can't remember you, you're gonna have symptoms too. When they go through it, you go through it, right? It's a family thing. However, this individual, he was seeing demons, right? He was seeing demons. Straight up. I seen two of them. I seen a big giant black one with yellow teeth, like fucking bright yellow teeth and yellow eyes. And then I seen a red kind of pink one, looked like Carnage. If you can remember that from the movie. And just to say things like, if you're in the truth and you have someone in your family that's dying, preach to them, man. Give them a fucking chance to make things right. Because this individual, his chance was ruined by his spouse. She fucking fired me before I had a chance to do anything. Now, the day before, I was talking to my homie, my next door neighbor. He's my best friend. But, he was like, maybe you're just supposed to help him, ask for forgiveness and shit like that. But we never got to it. However, these demons appear to me and to him. And if you ever notice strange sounds or strange apparitions on the corner of your eye, that's them. Alright? That's them. That's them demons. One of the things that they do is create a response. Or in the medical field, it would be a trigger. Right? They create a response. Now, the reason why I know that he was seeing him. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not like if I'm looking at you, I see you. That's not how I saw them. They were like smoky, like, am I really seeing them? You know how when you think you have something in your eye and rub your eye, but there ain't nothing there. Well, that's how they appeared. The reason why I say that they appeared is because this man's degenerative, right? His brain's done. He's on visual and audio. He doesn't recognize people. But he was talking to his soldiers, right? And all this was confirmed by the spouse. She saw them too. And right now that house is in danger. But I couldn't do anything because that demon hopped on that lady. And I know exactly when I'm dealing with someone that has possession. I know when things aren't worldly. They start saying things that they shouldn't know. Right? So the thing was, this man would do stuff like look at the corner of his eye, and you see how I tilted my head? We would do that at the same time at whatever he was looking at. But whatever he was looking at was either those two demons, probably more, or his combat buddies, which were deceased, passed, you know? And they would call it PTSD. Now, if you take a medical approach to it scientifically and all that bullshit, you'll never fucking figure it out. You'll never fucking figure it out, and you'll never heal these people. They're not like they're supposed to be healed, but they're supposed to be given a chance, right? So, what I'm saying is these things do exist. Sometimes you feel like you don't know how to do things or what to do in a certain situation, but these angels or the demons, the guides, they will open up information to you. And I've had a lot of strange things like this happen. But whenever I would see them, they would it would be like they would disappear, but I know they were still there because the man was talking to them. And the problem with that was his speech is messed up, right? He can't speak. He can't tell me what he's thinking. I can ask him questions and he can answer in a vague way, but there's no way he could articulate, right? When you're in that situation and sugar has clouded your memory and caused it to be Alzheimeric. That ain't no fucking word. I made it up, but that's what it is. Sugar is in your brain. Too much sugar that didn't get processed. There's nowhere for it to go, so it becomes a disease. You're not at ease, right? So one thing that left me thinking a lot was he would give orders. Like, I know that's march forward, right? That's march forward. That's halt. And that's basically the only two I would know. And then he would do this one. La mano cornuta. So he was communicating with the soldiers, but at times he would have flashbacks, and he would also be jumping. And you only get jumpy when you don't see things that are there, because he was focused on what he thought was it. And in the medical field, they'll call this hallucination. Okay, good. Now we're getting somewhere because we can describe what's going on, and any individual will say, look, I see this. And if you're telling somebody, look, I see this, do you see it? And they're like, no, I don't see it. They could just say, oh, this guy's hallucinating. But when you got a certain gift from the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, then you know things, right? Like, they were there, the demons were there, things would move, certain things would happen, certain thoughts would cross my mind. I'm pretty good now where I'll understand that's not my thought. That's not how I operate. And I don't know how I do it, but I do it. I just do it. Okay? And the way these things looked at me, it was kind of like stay out of the way type of shit. Like, I know you can stop us, but don't. They were actually smiling at me. Not like a smile, like a creepy smile. Like a respectful smile. Now, I don't know which angels the Lord has set up for my guardianship. But I know they weren't afraid of me. They were afraid of them. So stay in good standings with the Lord, man. Don't fall out, because at any given moment, your life could be turned upside down. Mobility is the key to staying out of a retirement home or hospice. You don't want to end up in there. You want your last days to be full of faces that trigger emotion like happiness. Maybe even sad. Just process those fucking feelings, right? So, you know, in his life, he was not a good person. You can't be a good person taking people's lives that are defending their homes. They see you as the aggressor and you're taking them all out. But at the same time, that could be your lot. Now, if you have someone that's a war veteran, just check up on them, man. Because I don't want to get too much into this demon shit. It doesn't fascinate me. Plus, you know, I know that their job is to cause doubt, cause this and cause that. So one of the things I realized is that the angelic realm, the spiritual realm, man, they're putting in overtime. They're putting in overtime. Everything is not a coincidence. Good things happen to bad people. Bad things happen to good people. Good things happen to good people. Bad things happen to bad people. They all happen to everybody. Now, how you deal with it is totally dependent on how you interpret the message, right? How you handle it. Like, if you see a fucking scary ass demon, of course you're gonna be scared. But the first thing that you feel is concerned, right? Worried. You're kind of worried. Like, oh shit. Oh man, I thought I just seen something. The first time you might see it, you think nothing of it. I'm just having a bad reaction to something or other. I'm not doing too well right now. I might not have drank enough water, too much sugar, too much caffeine. You'll make up a million excuses. When the Lord said, when there's two or more there in my name, He is there. Well, when this other guy seen what I seen, we seen him at the same time, and he didn't look at the black one, he was looking at the red one. But this dude had two demons on him. And it made me think, this individual is a certified Edomite. You know? So, damn. One thing you got to do is pray. Man, you gotta pray. Because if you don't pray, it's not gonna be okay. And you got to understand that. Because praying might sound like, oh, that's immature, that's really childish. I mean, there's no real solution to your problem. What's the fucking solution to getting rid of a demon, you son of a bitch? You piece of shit motherfuckers. Is that childish? Seeing a fucking demon, is that childish? I bet you fucking... You motherfuckers can't handle that shit. You motherfuckers can't not handle that shit. The Lord did something to me where He took my vision, not my entire vision, my color vision. I can't see certain colors, but it allows me to see, spectrums. I can see shadow people. That's really weird too, because I've been seeing that shit since I was a kid. I definitely see demons and all their forms. Maybe just the form that they want me to see, but the part that my brain catches, it immediately tries to shake it off, right? What happens when you smash your finger on the doorknob? Oh, fuck, like that's gonna fucking help. It might, it sends blood towards it, but guess what? It really doesn't help. So when you see something like that, you're not prepared to see something like that. You're like, fuck, rubbing your eyes. It's like, man, I didn't expect to see that. Right? Talk about expect the unexpected. That's unexpected, right? Now, I'm not no fucking expert. I can't give you advice on how to deal with them. I never have fought with them. I would be remiss to say that I know how to deal with them responsibly or correctly. I don't. And that's why praying seems kind of childish, right? I don't know how to handle this properly or whatever. I don't know the steps. I don't know anything. And to choose to pray means that you don't know what to do. You want someone else with a higher learning, a higher power to help you, right? So you're going to give it up to the man, to the Lord. And then He's going to take care of it. Good idea. Because who the fuck knows how to deal with demons any goddamn way? I mean, I didn't even have a chance to say Nadad Mayanya Shaitan. Like, straight up, they appeared different times. And I noticed them. And when I noticed them, they were like, we're not individually. They were like, we ain't here for you. Like, don't trip. Now, that is pretty scary, right? Well, they weren't there for me. They were there for that individual. And that individual's gonna pass. He might have passed already, I don't know. But if you take a look at the whole situation, with the medical condition of the patient and everything, man, I understand and see how nobody believes when somebody that has, a troubled past, we're gonna say a troubled past, you can't believe what they fucking say. There's no fucking way that you're gonna be like, okay, I'll help you. That'd be ridiculous. Who the fuck can? I mean, how can you? Well, we know that the name JC doesn't work. It doesn't. It has to be Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It has to be. That is the only thing I can think of that I possess that nobody in that home possessed, creating a barrier around me of safety. Check it out, man. Brothers, we are so fortunate, lucky, blessed, loved, cherished. It is hard to swallow, right? I ain't used to all that. but it is welcome. I love it. And, you know, a way of dealing with it was for me to just be like, just keep moving, man. Just keep going. Because to put too much thought into it, on the why and the how and the specifics, takes away that little, we're going to call it magic. Because that's important, man. That is important. Just imagine you're getting jumped by your ops. 4 or 5 of those motherfuckers. You can't land a lick. Getting your ass whooped. You don't know what to do. No one knows what to do. Who knows what to do? Nobody, right? And then the Catholic Church will be like, well, we got exorcists. So, how many of you motherfuckers have died trying to fight the good fight? Just Google that shit. Because I know the one thing for sure is they didn't want to mess with me. Like, they were kind of embarrassed that I was there. You know how I'm saying? You know how when this happened to me once, one of my homies, Adam, I was dating his sister, right? And then me and his sister broke up. And of course she started seeing other dudes. And I didn't fucking know that the dudes were there visiting her. I was just hanging out with my boy. You know, we would do, because we were breakdancing and all that good stuff. I would stop by and I see some cat I didn't know but I recognized on the couch, and they'd be like, "Fuck, dude, I gotta go." Just like get up and leave type of shit. Like, I'm in the wrong motherfucking place. Now, if you do that, I don't think anybody could blame you for doing that. Who could blame you? You know? Who's gonna blame you for that shit? Because there ain't no fucking way that you can train for that shit. You could train yourself to fight the baddest people on the planet. But how are you gonna fight a demon or a fucking angel? You ain't gonna fight no motherfucking demon. Get your motherfucking head out your ass. So it's kind of a wonderful feeling to you know, to get some respect from those dudes. Now, it's not going to happen all the time. Sometimes they might even be sent for you. But the thing is, I know I'm saying you got to be brave and all this good stuff. And really, I don't know if I was. I seen him and I dismissed it. But my childlike behavior was like, didn't let me get scared. So with that, I'm going to say, don't be scared. What the hell? Are those hearts on my damn glasses? I don't have no filter, y'all. I swear. But, you know, stay safe out there. Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Shalom.